Okay, so sorry, I just moved the camera a little bit. We're going to construct our zipper pocket. So I've cut my piece of vinyl, cut my aperture, and I have a number 3 zipper. This is considerably longer than I need, and that's fine. You can cut anything down that's longer. I just prefer using a longer zipper. I buy number 3 zipper either by the meter, so I buy it on a long roll and fit the zipper balls, or I have a whole load of I buy 10, I think these are 10-inch, yeah, 10-inch zippers, which kind of fit into most internal zipper pockets. So I tend to buy sort of large batches of number 3 zippers. They're very, very cheap, so I don't mind buying longer ones and cutting them down if I only need a short one, and actually I find a longer one easier to work with. So I'm going to, first of all, make sure that my zipper actually undoes and does up, because I have had them where they literally don't move. And then I'm going to lay it down on my table right side up, so the zipper pull is on the top. And I'm going to take my pocket piece and I'm going to lay it over the top, so that the zipper teeth are sitting centrally within that zipper aperture. Now, if you want to clip it, you can do. I generally don't, it has to be said. I just sometimes like to clip one end just to make sure that the end doesn't move, but you can kind of move it once you're working. So if I can see, the zipper teeth are now sitting within that zipper aperture. So I'm going to take it to the machine. If you'd find it easier, then you can. And this is probably easier for most people. I have a real thing about using too much glue. It is quite a small zipper, and that makes it quite fiddly. If it moves, it won't sit properly. You can add a little bit of glue on the back. So when you do your positioning, the glue will hold it in place. And you can see here that I have my zipper pull, my closed zipper pull, to my left as I'm looking at it. It really depends if you're left or right-handed, and that glue will kind of hold that zipper in place as you stitch. I have to say I don't very often use glue around zippers, but in this instance it actually is a little easier to do. It's a small zipper in a small aperture, so it's a personal preference. So now I'm going to top stitch all the way around that zipper aperture. Again, I'm leaving long threads at the beginning and the end, and I'm going to tie off and bury my threads as we have done all the way through. And I'm stitching an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance from the outside edge of that zipper aperture. Get to the end, pivot, come up over that zipper. Now your needle should just slide down between those zipper teeth. It's not going to be a major issue. Pivot, and we're coming back along the top edge. I'm just going to raise my foot, leaving the needle in, just to move my zipper pull out of the way so that I can get down to this other end. Again, pivot, coming down over those zipper teeth on the short end of the zipper pull aperture, of the zipper aperture. And what I want to try and do is land back in the same hole as I started my stitching. And that's worked perfectly. I'd like to say that happens all the time. I'd be lying. So my first and last stitch have literally landed in the same hole. Quite proud of that, actually. It doesn't, as I say, it doesn't happen that often. Usually have to sort of manipulate a little bit to get it to go where I want it to. So I'm going to take both of those threads from the front, push them through that last hole to the back of my work. And with the 2 bobbin threads, I'm just going to tie off all of those threads together. So there's 4 threads, there's 2 from the start and 2 from the finish. Now this isn't a lined pocket, it's such a little tiny purse, there's no real need I think to line it. Got bits of so let's just make sure that those thread ends are glued down. And now, as you can see, we have quite a large amount of zipper tape either side. So if you've got zipper that you're using that's longer, trim it down so that it literally is 1/8 of an inch longer than where you did your stitching. You've got stitching there, you can use the, so you just, you can see there that's stitched, and you've got kind of 1/8 of an inch on the outside. Now if you think it's going to be in the way, you can trim a little bit off the corners of the zipper there like that, but it won't make any difference. If you're worried about the zipper tape being kind of flapping about, you can pop a little bit of glue underneath there. It really won't make a lot of difference once your zipper is actually sitting on top of your pocket. So that is how we make our zipper pocket, and we'll come back and look at how we fit it.